Miguel Castro Freitas' Fall-Winter 2026 collection for Mugler, The Commander, Chapter 2 of his Trilogy of Glorified Clichés, is a full recalibration of power dressing. Not the 80s caricature, not fetishistic armor, but a study in how intention, geometry, and historical silhouettes can shape identity and desire. Presented at the Palais de la Porte d'Oreille, an Art Deco building with its own complicated colonial past, the show's setting underscored Freitas' ongoing dialogue with legacy, authority, and reclamation. The runway was a procession of structured identities. Pinstripe court coats cut like 17th century uniforms, diagonal zip leather jackets paired with shrunken trilby hats, pleated lamé dresses echoing Blade Runner, and Soviet-style uniforms with shelf-like shoulders that pushed geometry to its limit. Freitas' muses, Joan of Arc, Joan Crawford, Catherine Deneuve in The Hunger, flickered through the silhouettes, not as costume but as archetypes of female authority. What makes the collection compelling is its tension between severity and seduction. A pale grey wool jersey column dress, anchored by a jewelled plastron floating on internal rigging, becomes a kind of soft armor, protective but not burdensome. Glossy leather military skirt suits in mismatched colors feel confrontational yet glamorous. Pinstripe suits are sliced, pleated, and re-engineered with Mugler's signature architectural precision. Freitas' power dressing isn't about dominance, it's about choice. His show notes frame the collection as a reclamation of personal power, the power of dressing, not the performance of it. In a cultural moment where symbols of authority are fraught, he leans into intention, geometry as identity, tailoring as agency, and historical references as tools rather than constraints. Beauty direction sharpened the message. Hair by Anthony Turner was slicked, sculpted, or tightly controlled. No softness, no drift, just clarity. Makeup by Karin Westerlund kept the face clean and directional, with defined eyes and a neutral lip that emphasized structure over romance. Gloves, trilby hats, rigid belts, and sharply angled bags completed the silhouettes, functioning almost like punctuation marks in Freitas' grammar of power. Mugler Fall 26 is not nostalgic. It's not retro. It's a reframing of what power looks like when women choose their own symbols. Freitas pulls from history, cinema, uniforms, and Mugler's own legacy of engineered seduction, and distills it into a collection that feels authoritative, geometric, and unmistakably modern. This is power dressing without apology, but also without aggression. Its intention made visible. Mugler closes with a sense of sharpened momentum. Freitas isn't just revisiting power dressing, he's rebuilding its architecture from the inside out. The collection proves he understands the Mugler woman not as an archetype, but as a force. Someone who chooses her symbols, commands her silhouette, and wears structure as intention rather than armor. What makes this season exciting is how clearly it sets the stage for what's next. If The Commander is Chapter 2 in his trilogy, you can feel the tectonic plates shifting toward a finale that will push geometry, identity, and seduction even further. Freitas has laid the groundwork. Historical silhouettes re-engineered, uniforms reframed, tailoring treated like a language. The next chapter has the potential to be explosive, a synthesis of everything he's been building. Mugler Fall 26 is a study in power and intention. Tell me which look defined the collection for you. I'm reading everything.